Friday, you told the manager you were injured. Were you?
No, I didn't say I was injured. Thursday, I actually, because I've been reading all the press which goes on, and and then we're getting told that I've been told that to do a job for the team, play in a certain position and do a job for the team, and that's what I've tried to do. I've tried to do it to the best I can, even though I don't feel I'm offering as much, but I've tried to do as well as I can. And then obviously we get linked with centre forwards, which is it's the club's priority. But then I'm thinking, hold on a minute, I'm playing out of position. I want to go up front, which is selfishly probably, but and then I expressed that to the manager and the chairman, and they said to me they weren't getting a forward in, obviously. So I said, okay, no problem. And then we went from there. And I obviously let my views across because I feel I am not doing myself justice, if you know what I mean. I am out of position, and I feel for the midfield boys who have to sweep up for me because I'm obviously so attack-minded. But, obviously I got left out today, and there's been one or two reports, which I am fully fit. And, I will play anywhere, and I've proved I've played 20-odd games out of position this year. And, I will do it because I want to play for Newcastle. But, I don't feel I'm doing the club justice, in those positions. And I don't feel really I should have come here to be talking about it. But obviously I've heard what's going on and I've seen what's going on with my own eyes. And I've tried to keep silent, but obviously it's been a long day for me, and it's been a tough one.
Could you clear up the situation with Craig Bellamy this afternoon? You said pre-match to us he hadn't been selected on the basis that he told you he'd injured himself in training on Friday. Openly this afternoon, it seems as though he's conflicted that by saying he felt he was open for selection and available.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that, what every football club tries to do is to keep its business behind closed doors. We've tried to do that with this. In this case, there was an incident on Friday, which led to me having to have a meeting between the chairman, the player, and myself, and that will remain private. But I think Craig Bellamy is not happy in the positions we're asking him to play sometimes, and he's gone about showing his displeasure in totally the wrong way, and that's why he wasn't involved today.
So just to clarify, you never told Graeme Souness, your manager, that you were injured?
I walked off the training ground on Thursday, which we don't really need to go into, but obviously to go and speak to, obviously to the manager and to the people upstairs, and that's what I've done. Thought it got resolved. Thought it was out the way. Trained Friday, normal, and come here today, and obviously I knew I weren't playing, and found out I went on the bench today, which I was the only one who weren't. When
you say in totally the wrong way, how do you mean?
Well, I mean declaring himself injured on Friday, walking off on Friday, then being fit on Saturday. We're trying to create a team spirit at Newcastle. I'm only interested in having players at the club who will give everything for the cause. Sometimes you're going to be asked to play in a position that you feel maybe is not your best position, but at the end of the day, if it's for the cause, that's all that matters. Our supporters don't want to hear about petulance and people saying, I only want to play in a certain position. They just want to see the 11 players who are out there working their socks off for the cause. And unfortunately, we're faced with a situation where that's not the case. And really, I don't want to enlarge on that because, as I said, I'd like to try and keep as much as we can in-house. I think all the proper clubs try and do that, and we shall try and do it this time. But obviously someone's spoken where out of turn, and it's now out there in the public domain.
The reason I ask you is just because it's a question of your integrity and your word has been brought into question here. Just asking for clarification on that.
Yeah, which disappoints me because I've done nothing, especially since the new manager's come here, to train as hard as I can and do a job for the team. The fans know it. They've seen me week in, week out play out position and try and do the best I can. I have not moaned, I've not sulked about it. I've just tried to get on with it to the best I can. And obviously, there comes a time where you want to play in your rightful position, but you have to get on with it. And obviously what's happened with players coming in and players going, and obviously my name gets linked to be the one going out. So you do wonder what's going on at the moment, and you want to speak to people about it. But it's just a tough period at the moment, and the last thing I want to do is for people in Newcastle and the fans to think that I wouldn't want to play for this club in any position, because they know that I'm willing to play anywhere.